Hey guys!
Howdy!
What's up and welcome back to the Roomies Digest. My name's Christine.
I'm Monique.
And today we are doing a book unhaul.
Mm-hmm. It's happening finally.
Boy, do we have some books to get rid of.
Yes. Funny that this is a trash truck. Just kidding.
Because all these books are low-key trash.
No.
Bum, bum, da 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 da, bum, bum, da.
We're doing a book unhaul video. We need to make room on our shelves. So it means we have to read the books and then get rid of the books we don't like. So there can be more room for the books that actually aren't on our shelves. And then we'll read those books. And then by the time we read those books, we get rid of the books we don't like. Hopefully by that time, we will have not bought any other books. Likelihood. And then we'll have room on our shelves, and then only the books on our shelves are the books on our shelves. And then we'll just, live a nice minimalist lifestyle where we have the books we want and we read the books that we want instead of buying the books we want and reading the books we want.
Right. Yes, exactly. So the plot of the movie is...
we need space for our books that we want.
Right. And so we're going to be unhauling a lot of books that we didn't particularly want to keep, and we're going to tell you guys why.
Here we go. I'm starting off with an unpopular opinion.
Oh my god, I've got one to match you with that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I was not a fan of this book. It just read a little predictable for me. Like, the drama was good. Like, I didn't hate it, but it's not something I'm going to reread. Like, there's not a companion. I mean, is there a second book?
I think there might be, or maybe there is going to be. I know that the show was definitely leading
completed.
Up to...
Oh, there's another season?
No, I thought they were going to try and have another season. I don't know what they're doing with those. I'm not sure. I
won't have to reread this book to read the second, if there is a sequel. But I don't know.
Right, okay.
Unpopular opinion, but it's just... If you guys don't know what this book is about, it follows two families that are living in Cleveland. One is a single mother. She's an artist. She is raising her daughter, Pearl. And then we have the other family, which is like the typical cookie cutter suburban household. And they have like 3 kids all around the same age, like
all in high school.
Yeah, like freshman, sophomore, junior. Some drama unfolds, and they are from different sides of the track, and people start to get to know each other, and it could be fun for a lot of people. It was a lot of fun for a lot of people, but I caught a lot of twists early, and I wasn't sold.
It's like family drama.
Yeah, which I am a fan of,
right.
But I was like, it was very hyped up, and I wasn't like blown away.
Right. Well, and if you guess what's going to happen too, then there's that. I see your book, and I raised you.
Okay.
This book, which
that's like the same type of thing,
right? Both obviously produced by Miss Reese Witherspoon and starring Miss Reese Witherspoon. But yeah, for this one, it's also a family drama. I actually really liked this book. I love the TV show, but I just don't see myself really ever like rereading it and like keeping it. I don't know. It basically just is kind of the same situation. It follows like a ton of different families in the Monterey area of California. And as you kind of get to know each of the families, they all have younger kids. Each family follows like a different kind of track. Like there's one like super like rich kind of like family. There's one that's not so well off, that's like a single mother. One that's like in a very abusive relationship, and you just kind of like see how all these families cross paths, how they all cross paths. And yeah, it's like family like drama. They're like
rich people.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically, I guess they're like rich people instead of suburban, I guess we can say, but like rich people just kind of like having a bunch of drama.
Trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, honestly, I think I low-key liked the show.
I need to finish season 1.
Yeah, it was really good. I really liked it. I'm like, should I rewatch the show?
Next, Echo Wife is out of here.
I did not like that book.
I didn't hate it, but it was kind of the same reasons that I didn't like Little Fires Everywhere. If the ending is not good, like if I go through a book and I'm not really like, I don't have to be blown away, but like if the ending, if in my brain I think I can do a different ending or expected a different ending.
Right, it wasn't satisfying.
Yeah, I don't think I could give this book a reread. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
So there's no need.
I agree.
hold on to this.
Yeah, that one was definitely a letdown. Which brings me to this book right here, A Dowry of Blood. I actually was given this by Steph, and I'm assuming you're never gonna read this, right?
I don't know what it is.
So basically, Dowry of Blood just kind of follows one of Dracula's wives and kind of just the abuse that she has to go through being like a part of Dracula's harem, essentially. And it just was not what I was expecting. Like, it was fine, but like it wasn't some like amazing book, you know what I mean? Like, I think if you're really interested in kind of like grief almost and dealing with the repercussions of being in an abusive relationship, then this might interest you. But for me, it just was a letdown. I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe like more spice between all the characters. Like, they like loved each other, but like it wasn't that spicy. And then I was like, okay, so it's really just like a tale of the wife's like grief and kind of like her getting through this thing. So that's not really what I was expecting, and I just, don't want to keep it. So there we go.
Again, another one that you may have heard, but this was one of my biggest, was it my disappointment?
Yeah, I think it was. It was like your disappointment of the year.
I like thought about keeping it because I do want to read the second one, but I was like, honestly, I can just get the second one from the library.
Also, they're companions, so it's like you don't have to have the first one,
Yeah, so I'm thinking I might just, get a nice library rental and check it out from the library and read when it comes out. I think it's coming out next month, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, if you guys want to know like why she didn't like this book, I'm also gonna link
our mid-year freak out.
Yeah, that mid-year freak out, because I'll talk about my biggest disappointment that I'm also unhauling. Cemetery Boys. Cemetery Boys. Not that it's a horrible story, just don't feel like keeping it. Don't feel like I need to keep it. I think I could literally get this from the library if I ever wanted to reread it, and I'd be fine. But I do like love the characters. And as soon as our mid-year freakout came out, it was announced that they are going to be writing a second book. Isn't that crazy?
So maybe they'll have more of what you wanted.
Right. Maybe they will. So that's what I'm hopeful for. But this first one, loved it, but don't need to keep it. There we go.
Okay. If the shoe fits. This was a random buy I bought at Target a while back. As you can tell by the 20% off sticker.
Everybody knows what that is.
It's by Julie Murphy. And I think she wrote Dumpling or something.
Dumpling, yeah.
So I was like, ooh, I've heard a lot about Dumpling, so let me just try this out. I'm always down to read a story with a plus size main character. And overall, the book was cute, but it was just cute. Like the end, like I'm realizing more about myself talking about the books I didn't really enjoy. But
that is why we do these videos.
Wow. But I was really eating it up, even if there was no steam. Okay, there was no steam in this book. Like there's steam, there's like a lot of tension, but you're left guessing if they even made out. Like you're just like, did they kiss?
Ooh.
Which is not even. That's not even why I'm putting it down here, giving it away. Okay. It is the ending. It was.
Oh, no. All of these are basically like the ending was not it. The ending.
Like a romance to me, like if you're going to do an epilogue, are you going to jump ahead in the future? Okay. Like you need to like, something has to have changed. Like, and it needs to be worth it. Like I need to see the happy ever after that you're giving me, not like the happy could happen after.
Okay, yeah, like a nice plot arc that's like satisfying in the end. You know what? Okay, I know that this was the competition, right? This was like
it's like Bachelorette,
right? Okay, I'm gonna tell you, the next book you pick up, you have to read The Charm Offensive. I think everything that you wanted in this book is going to be in that book. Okay. And I'm like, I squealed when I read that one. So okay. It'll be interesting to see. You guys will hear it. But it'll be interesting to see if you like The Charm Offensive. As far as like really disappointing endings, I'm going to pick up 2 books and talk about both of them because I read them around the same time. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but it's these 2 books. These 2 books. I know Noelle loved this book. I know Rachel loved this book. I love you guys, but I didn't love these books. And that's where we're going with that. Library of Legends basically just follows our main character who is transporting this magical library from her university across China while they're going through like this, I guess like an attack, like a war of sorts. I wanted there to be just more magic and more lore and just more to that part, but it was very like historical, which is fine. It's just my expectations were up here and they weren't met, and that's fine. That's on me. That, and then also the romance in this book, I was like, why did we need it? We didn't need it. We didn't need it. It didn't make sense. Didn't like it. No. Insta love, get out of here. So for that reason, I give you a 0. Just kidding. I actually think I rated it like a 3, but I'm not gonna keep it. So anyway, Library of Legends, and then the other one, I know this is gonna hurt Rachel D, but this is The Power. This is basically like if women had the power, not even that men had, but like women just have this like power to electrocute people essentially. And because of that, they can control, you know, like electro waves, or like I don't know what it's called, but like can control people through this power. It would be like flipping the patriarchy, right? So like women are in control, but I don't know, this one just kind of fell short because it wasn't necessarily like they had been established into power. It's like this power kind of happened while we were reading the book, and so they were kind of still having to fight the patriarchy the whole entire time. And then also the women who were in control, they got like power hungry almost. So it's basically like if they did become, you know, powerful or like in power, they would do exactly what men are doing now. And for me, I was like, okay, interesting, but like I don't really want to read a book about women like sticking it to the men in this way, like doing it in a way that like men already do it, if that makes sense. And I know people pull different things from this book. Like I know that there are other like meanings and things like that, but for me, it just didn't hit. And that's okay. And that's why I'm unhauling it. So goodbye, Power.
For me, I also have 2 books, but I only read part of book 1. I found these at a used bookstore a few months back, and it follows this kid, this student, this guy, ends up moving to this sleepy town where nothing happens, and then he realizes that everyone in his school is like a hot girl, and there's a murder, and he's trying to figure out what's going on, but there's like threats everywhere. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know why I bought it.
I mean, probably because it was like $5.
Because it was like abducted by demons. I was like, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I love a demon.
But this is like if I was a middle school boy, but not in a good way.
Like too lusty or something?
Yeah, it was like too lusty, not enough plot, or like nothing was happening. Like I was like, I explain. I was like 2 pages in. Look.
Oh, boobs.
Not even the boobs. It was just like there was nothing. There was no need, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going, and it just didn't. It wasn't for me. It wasn't very good.
I feel like somebody also commented and said that those were not good.
Yeah,
a while back.
Well, I gave it a chance, and they were right. They were right.
And because of that, I give you a 0.
Yeah, I was like, well,
that was a true DNF right there. Okay, so in the same vein of thrifted books that we're getting rid of, okay, I'm about to knock out a group, you know? Okay, so here I've got... Do you guys remember a little series called Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief? I thrifted these books when we first got on BookTube because I wanted to read them because of the hype. They were good. I'm gonna pass them on to someone who will love them because I don't need them. I truly don't need them. In the same vein, also, I've had these books for forever. These are the Golden Compass books. As you can see, they do not match. I recently thrifted a copy of like the trilogy, and it's a nicer copy, cuter, all put together. So I am giving these to a better home. You guys know what those are about, right? Another book that I'm going to be getting rid of, you guys might have also joined us for these lives.
And it is understandable.
I don't really know if I should even go into what this is about. If you guys are interested, I'm gonna link one
of the many videos we read on.
Yes, the lives where we read those. That's what it is, 10 of 5 purse. I'm actually gonna be sending this to Christina from Christina's Chapters because she wanted it, and I annotated like a tiny little bit of this, so I figure why not spread the love or the hate.
The experience. Spread the experience to someone else.
We'll see.
Not us.
Not us. That's right. Next on my list are some books that I read for like book club, I suppose. The first, and I know this is gonna pain some people, We Hunt the Flame and We Free the Stars. These 2 were just not it for me. It didn't hit. It's basically a Mina, like YA fantasy. A huntress goes on a quest to find magic and bring it back to their kingdom, right? Okay, that's the premise. I don't know what it was about these, but they just lost my focus like halfway through. I don't know if it just like read young or what, or maybe because I had just recently read David and I was like, this is a cheap copy. Not really, but yeah, I just didn't hit. I don't think I should keep these. I'm never gonna reread them, and if I do for any reason, I probably would just get it from the library. The only downside is I did annotate heavily the first one and then a little bit in the second one, so whoever gets this, because we are going to be dropping these off at a little free library, they will be getting a heavily negative annotated copy of these books. So hopefully that's not too big of an issue. And then the other one that I also annotated for book club and it just didn't hit like it was supposed to hit was The Unbroken, y'all. I read this for Vish's live show for the Shelf Space, like January, I think, book club, like read or whatever. It's supposed to be a sapphic fantasy, like sapphic high fantasy. When I say there was literally no fantasy in this book, like literally none, no, it was not it. This is a military, I guess you could call it a fantasy, but it's basically like heavily like political, like if you can even call it that. I don't know. It was barely sapphic, barely fantasy, and it just did not hit. I think I gave it like a 2-star or something like that. So we're gonna give it to someone else, which is so disappointing because like, look how that main character looks. Looks real cool, right? Anyway, it's fine. Hopefully somebody else will love it.
All right, so I have a couple of book of the months that I will be passing along. First up is The X Hack.
Oh.
This book was not it for me. I'm sorry, Erin Sterling or Rachel. No, it's Erin Sterling. This was not a fun time. If you don't know, the XX follows I forgot her name. This witch right here. This witch.
That young whippersnapper.
Yeah, she had a nice fling, like a summer relationship with this man here. I'm forgetting everyone's name. And he had to go home, you know? He had to leave. And she was so angry, so drunk that she accidentally puts a hex.
I'm a hex girl.
On her ex. And I don't know, it was just, there's so much more that I felt like you could get from this book. Because like magic exists and I don't know, it just didn't seem like it was explored. I don't know. I just didn't have a fun time. Anyone else agree? I don't know.
I feel like a lot of the booktube community did not like that book.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people did too. Like it was like mixed.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Then this historical fiction, or I guess, is it historical fiction?
I have no idea.
I just could not get into this book, and I've tried multiple times to read it, and I just feel like I can just pass. This book is very popular with a lot of people, so I feel like I should just pass this on to someone who will read it, and that's what's gonna happen. So I'm sorry to you, Colston. I really tried. Or Colson.
Very hard DNF.
I really tried. And then for this one, Lifestyle by Taylor Hahn, we actually were invited to a author event with her. So we actually got our own copy signed. So this is just one that we don't need. Because, you know, we don't need 3 copies of a book if we already have our own personalized copy.
Yeah.
So this is going to be passed on to
someone.
A better home.
Yeah, in a little free library.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I've got 2 thrillers here. Not a Happy Family by Cherie LaPena and The Collective by Alison Galen. So I actually really like this one. I think I rated it a 4 stars when I first read it. It's like a family thriller, like this really rich family essentially has like someone die in it and you're trying to figure out who or like what killed them. That one was a lot of fun. I just don't think I'll read it again because, like, pretty much with thrillers, once you read it and you know what it is, unless you really love it, why keep it? You know what I'm saying? So this one was a fun time. I'm just gonna be unhauling it. And then The Collective, this was just such a letdown. I thought this was such a cool premise. Basically, the mom in this one, her daughter has been killed. And it has to do with, like, being at a college party underage. And so she goes on kind of like a revenge plot situation to basically get the kid who took advantage of her daughter and put him in jail / maybe kill him. And so, yeah, the whole premise of this book, really, really great. The end of it wasn't super impressed with, so I'm gonna be giving that one to a better home. And then the third book of the month that I'm gonna be getting rid of is Sky Falling. This one basically just follows our main character, who's like a 40-year-old, like pretty successful, like human being, finds out that they have, I think, a 12-year-old. Basically, this follows our main character, who is like just living life, 40 years old, like doing their thing, until one day a 12-year-old shows up on her doorstep, and the 12-year-old says, hey, you're my biological parent and I want a relationship with you. And she was like, dang, that one time I sold my eggs. That's what this is. And so it's all about like her kind of like cultivating this relationship with the 12-year-old and realizing that like there's a little bit more to life than just kind of floating through, because essentially that's what she was doing in the beginning. It was a fun time. It was a good time. I liked it at the time. Do I think I'm gonna reread it? Probably not. It is a cute little sapphic romance, which is nice. But yeah, like I said, just don't need to keep it. Not my fave, you know what I'm saying? Recently, you guys might have seen like a little vlog that I did, which was basically Heartstopper themed, reading the books that Isaac in the TV show reads. I'm not gonna go too into detail. If you guys are interested in that vlog, I'm gonna link it up in the cards, but these are the 3 books that I'm getting rid of from that vlog. The Naruto volume 72, which we now know is the last Naruto volume ever. I hope some young person or maybe old person really enjoys this final copy. Quantum Mechanics, heavily annotated for the young physicist, and Proud by Gareth Thomas. Self-explanatory. Other books that I'm going to be getting rid of that you guys might have seen before. These ones are essentially because I got other copies, okay? So Lord of the Rings, when we do our haul video, you guys will kind of see the other copies of Lord of the Rings that I got. But these 2 I have had forever, and I am going to be unhauling them for some young or old whippersnapper to get hold of. It's The Hobbit and The Fellowship of the Ring, which is basically like the first book and the prequel. Copies of The Hunger Games. I recently got these like super cute kind of like metallic Hunger Games copies off of Pango Books. They sent me an extra one of the first one. I don't need it, so I'm gonna be giving it away. These are the other 2 that I just had, the hardback versions of the like older covers, so I'm gonna be unhauling those. We all know what The Hunger Games is about. You definitely know what it's about now that you've read.
I knew before I watched the movie.
Lastly, in this little group that I have Twilight and New Moon, the like paperback versions. I recently got all of the hardbacks, like I thrifted them when I was back home in South Carolina, because I got these like very cute dust jackets that are kind of like horror movie themed almost, but they're for the Twilight books.
I was wondering why you had to have these books.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It's true. But I really didn't want to buy them all, you know, like new. So I've been looking for thrifted copies, and I got them, I think I got all of them for like $10 or some, like under $10 because it was like a library sale. So they were like 25 cents each. Wow, I got a deal on those. Anyway, the point is, we're going to be spreading the love with Twilight. I don't know if anybody like young adult would like these books nowadays. I'm not sure, but like someone's going to find them in every little free library and hopefully have a good time, because Twilight, iconic.
We did a blind taste test, so we attempted to, and this one was the first one we got. And
it's like a blind date with a book.
Yeah, blind date with a book, and this one was not. This is dates that went wrong. Okay, did not enjoy this. I didn't get very far in. I think I maybe page 74, and I don't know. Just I'm not gonna say racist, but like a lot of the ways they refer to like certain people, I was just like,
this is not cute.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
it's
like
not cute, and it never has been.
Yeah, I was just like, I was like, is this really the term that they refer to these people as? And I'm like, I don't really want to take the time to.
You already knew you weren't gonna like that book.
Yeah, it was like already on the losing side, and I kept trying to give it a chance.
It just wasn't it.
Yeah, like it wasn't even the main character; it was a side character. He was like, "Ooh, you like a little exotic," and I was like, "Oh no." Like, oh no.
Absolutely freaking not.
I'm okay.
Speaking of romances that didn't hit, I'm going to talk to you guys about Meet Cute Diary. This one I read last month in June, and I picked it up because it had such a cute premise. Basically, it's a young trans male writes a, it's like a Tumblr post, really, like kind of diary about trans people getting like all these meet cutes. So essentially in the diary, it's supposed to be anonymous trans couples sending in these ways that they met. But in reality, this young person makes up all of the like meet cutes, which is fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But the romance in this story was a fake dating trope, and I think we lost the plot of the movie. Like, we lost the original plot of the movie because we started going off on this tangent about the diary, then we would go to the romance, and then there was like another component that was like really randomly thrown in there, and all of these moving parts just weren't super cohesive in this book. So for me, like, I think it was cute, but I wasn't sold on the romance. I wasn't really sold on like what happened in the end, like as the end result of like all the problems that happened. And I think that's probably like a me thing, just because it was like a happily ever after, but like none of it made sense for me. So I was like, I can't in good faith keep this book or really recommend it to anybody because it didn't hit for me, but that's okay. 2 other Pride books that I'm gonna be unhauling. One was a DNF, Rainbow. This is like a collection of like short stories just about people in the LGBTQIA plus community. It was great. It's just the writing was like a little hard for me to get through. It just wasn't my cup of tea because it was almost like poetry, but not. And so it just kind of was jumbled and all over the place, and I just couldn't get through it, so I DNF'd it, unfortunately. Maybe someone else will enjoy this. And then this other one I actually really liked, and I'm going to be donating this one to this like program at the YMCA for the LGBTQIA plus community. But this is a middle grade. It's called This Is Our Rainbow, and it's 16 stories of her, him, them, and us. And it's basically just 16 different stories of young people who are in the LGBTQIA community. And I just really liked it because it was great representation. Like, it's just all these young people and like all across the board with all different, you know, identities. And I just thought it was such a cool read to just read that and have like representation like that. But for me, I don't like need to keep it. Like, I'd rather just kind of share it with young kids who like need to see stories like this. So that is why I'm going to be unhauling this one, even though I really liked it. Also really liked the little, there's like a graphic novel portion. I loved this story. This was one of my favorite ones. Anyway, really fun book.
It's cute. Yeah. And then lastly for me, I am going to be giving away Fat Chance Charlie Vega. This was a really cute story. I enjoyed it a lot, but it's just not something that I think I need to keep. I think someone else, probably someone like you said, someone younger than could use
would
this.
Like it. Yeah.
Yes, it has a plus sized main character, and it's just her, you know, figuring out her life in high school and falling in love, and it's a debut novel, so it's just all good time.
Cute story. We just don't need to keep it, you know. Same can be said. This is another one that I had. Warcross by Marie Lu. I know this is definitely like across the board. Either people love it or hate it. For me, it's exactly like what people kind of warned me about. It's like Ready Player One, but like YA. And there is like a twisted aspect at the end, which was interesting, but like not like I have read this like it was maybe months and months and months ago. Haven't thought about it since. So in my mind, I need to give it away. I need to give it up. And hopefully a younger person can enjoy it. It is actually a signed copy. So that's going to be a lot of fun for somebody to discover. But yeah, it just was a little too young for me. I couldn't believe some of the things that were happening. And that's okay. You know, we're in our new girl phase. So hopefully someone else can like Warcross. And I will give it to them.
Okay, so that is just a little recap of some of the things we plan to be giving away or rehoming, shall we say.
Yes.
And we are making some progress on our own TBR.
Yeah, that was the goal for this year, and we have definitely read it down.
Exactly. So stay tuned. We'll have more books that we like, didn't like. If you like these types of videos, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe so you know what we're up to, and the notification bell will let you know when we are posting things.
And also, if you're in the LA area and you like going to little free libraries, a lot of these books are going to be in there. So I don't want to say it's going to be a scavenger hunt for you,
but
you might find some gold if you wanted one of these books.
If you comment down below, we might even tell you
which ones they are. Here are the exact locations of every single little free library.
we
Honestly, yeah, because sometimes when you go into those things, they just do not have any good books. You're like, obviously, I guess because that's why people give them away. All right, anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.